Thank you. And this last item, or this next item, wasn't sure on how to go about talking about this, so I think we'll just bite right into it. So this is a contract that, for the folks at home, contracts are reviewed. I've had a lot of conversations about not having proper legal attention to contract matters. I don't believe we're thoroughly looking at them. I think we're pushing a button and sending it down the line. I went through a pretty deliberate process that involved the city council to interview law firms that would have that capability. We used a lot of people's time and effort, brought that contract forward, and at the last moment, the rug got pulled out from under us and we were told, we don't need contract services. Not at all. So, I was planning to bring forward a contract for Ives Fenton. Ives Fenton is a vendor that was hired to provide restorative justice training. And I'll give you a little background. So, the Restorative Justice Panel was established by a City Council resolution in May 2023. The Restorative Justice Panel consists of 8 unpaid volunteer community members. The Restorative Justice Panel asked the city to request quotes from restorative justice practitioners to provide support and training of city government leaders, police, and community members. An RFQ was issued, responses reviewed, a contract was awarded in December of 2023. In the July 2024 independent compliance audit by Beacon Risk Group, which included a status update on specific city progress on the 50-point plan pursuant to Governor Cuomo's New York State Police Reform and Reinvention Executive Order 203, the 50-point plan recommended number 3, develop a plan to train and implement procedural and restorative justice principles. In this report, it's noted as in process. This addendum provides transparency that the work needs to continue until satisfactorily completed. The contract reads, this agreement shall continue in force from the effective date until the work provided as described herein is satisfactorily completed, or by 12/5/2024. The city attorney, purchasing, risk and safety, finance all approve this contract. And an addendum is only advised, as I said, as a means of transparency. Why did I provide such detail? Is because pre-agenda is where we're supposed to work everything out. There were no issues that were raised. You asked me for an explanation of what restorative justice was, where it came from. I gave you a general description. So after pre-agenda, our mayor sent our city attorney out to essentially implement the wishes of an online blogger who's an expert in everything and knows nothing. And we were given a missive at 2:03 this afternoon that was provided to us as, I guess you're saying I can't do this, but I had my staff look at it, Mr. Harper, and you got an F. You failed miserably. I can read through this line by line. Should we do that?
Well, the only
because no, sir. I want to know what your intent is here. What are you trying to do by putting him on this for a less than $30,000 contract that was agreed to? Why are you doing this? Why did you do that?
Because
John Kaufman told you to?
Because it requires a new contract.
No, it does not, sir. And here we go.
The only thing we object to
Excuse
is
me,
the fact
sir.
that the addendum in purchasing, we called NICOM about this. We just want to do it right.
Let's roll right on down through this then. An RFQ was issued for services up to $30,000. This is a professional services addendum and is not a resolution. You guys don't even know what you're talking about. This is not a change in scope of work or new work to be done. There is no increase in dollar figure. The contract was approved for amount not to exceed $29,340. The approved contract rate is $81.25 per hour. This is following the provision that an agreement shall continue in force from the effective date until the work provided as described herein is satisfactorily completed. Do we not understand what those words mean?
Until a certain date. It's all we want is a new contract.
It's not satisfactorily completed. Sir,
The only thing we object
the accounts
to,
issued the
Dylan, is
addendum
the
to
addendum.
extend the time frame for completion to 12/31/2025. There is still work to be done to meet the 50-point plan. The city contract template does provide a reason for the renewal or extension of contracts. This is already done depending upon terms of the contract. And the RFP template that we used, reference page 4 in section 12E of that, which I guess you guys didn't look at, states this, okay? We took 3 quotes. We followed everything. We do have the ability to continue this until satisfactorily completed. But what is so offensive is why. The question is why. Because what I know is 1 year ago at this time, when you walked into this office talking about civility, you did the same exact thing. You put him on some mindless task that this guy told you to do. And now there's some investigation into a bunch of nonsense that you know is not true, that he actually admitted you guys investigated the wrong friggin' date. It's so disgusting what you people are doing. That little foray is going to cost us $250,000. What are you doing?
Commissioner,
I'm pulling this item.
Commissioner, I walked in here and I found that there were many, many things that you had done incorrectly. All we're trying to do is ask that this be done correctly.
Based on what? Your knowledge of none of it? Your knowledge of none of the things that we did a year and a half, 2 years ago? You weren't here. 2 city councils voted to do this work. This was an initiative of the mayor's office, and it is very, very clear. No.
I do want some clarification.
You do want to continue to kick the rock down the street and not do the real work that's necessary and required of us by the plan that was voted for.
Just want a new contract, Commissioner.
Sir,
Let's do it right.
The suggestion that I'm doing something wrong, the suggestion that we don't...
I don't think you do these things on purpose, but I do think...
Excuse me?
I don't think you do things wrong.
Tell me what I've done wrong.
I'm not
Tell me
gonna argue that.
what I've done wrong.
We have a whole meeting to go through.
Yes, we do, and we're going to go through my agenda after you tell me what I've done wrong. Because if this was the report card, I'm giving you an F. Because we do know what we do in our office, and you don't. You do not, sir. You guys don't even... I don't... The only thing consistent about the legal opinion I've gotten is that it's inconsistent. Mr. Kaczynski knows this one says one thing about getting legal coverage, and a day later this guy says something completely different. It's absurd the way you use this as a weapon. It's absurd the fact that you are weaponizing our attorney's office and the legal justice, the legal system to criminalize minutia, and you're part of it. Civility my ass. I'm pulling that item, 9th item.